Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Bat Chat. I'm Captain Logan.
I'm Steve Baxi.
It's Saturday morning, and Steve and I are watching Saturday morning cartoons.
Hooray!
Steve, are you having a bowl of cereal?
I am. I'm having a dish of cereal. I don't actually have a bowl.
Oh, wait. You said dish, but I'm looking at that. I think you have a paper plate of cereal, don't you?
Yeah, a paper plate of cereal.
A paper
plate and paper spoon. I'm in college. I'm broke.
That's great. Do you at least have milk, Steve?
I don't like milk in my cereal.
Oh, well, I mean, but do you like to drink milk with your cereal? Like,
no, I don't like having any sort of milk with my cereal. I just don't like.
Oh, but then your throat gets all scratchy.
I don't know. This cereal is kind of fruity, so it's all right.
Are you having Fruity Pebbles?
I am.
That's cool. Okay, so Steve and I have reverted back to 9 years old.
Yep. I wish I was still 9, though.
And today we're going to watch The Joker's Wild, which is the perfect Batman episode to watch when you've reverted back to 9 years old. Steve, I like this one a lot.
I do too. It's hysterical.
This is not going to be really an intellectual exercise, Steve. What I love about this episode, and we'll get into it, is here in a second, is that, not only is it straight up silly Saturday morning flair, but it does a really good job of letting you know that up front.
Yep.
Like, there are episodes of this show that we've talked about that can't really decide how serious, smart they want to be. And this one does not have that problem.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get to it, but there's lots of references all the way through of like Looney Tunes and Charlie Brown and stuff. Like it's pretending to be nothing except one of those shows.
If you want to watch the episode with us, get out your DVDs or go to Amazon Prime, however you want to watch it. Get it past all the menus to timestamp 0. And make sure that you're watching the episode The Joker's Wild. We're going to go ahead and just get started, and we're going to watch the episode and talk about it. And here we go. Are you ready, Steve?
I'm set.
Everybody press play right now.
Seems like every episode in this volume has got the regular intro.
It does, yeah.
At least so far.
I think it's silly that we got like 9 or 10 in before we finally stopped saying intro roulette.
Yeah.
Like, it's not roulette if there's only one number on the wheel, Steve.
Well, you could always just spread the number 1 across like 8 different spots.
I'm going to double down on 1. I think I've got a really good shot.
You'll never lose.
Yeah, well, I love that we're talking about roulette already because
Casino.
It's a casino episode. Yeah, what was it in the 90s with casinos and gambling being all over children's entertainment?
I have no idea. There was
Have you noticed that?
episode of Animaniacs about that.
Well, and then you had like Casino Night Zone and Sonic. I never understood that. Like, and I loved it, but the thing that always perplexed me was that more parents didn't seem to complain about it.
Didn't you notice that in every video game you played in the 90s and early 2000s had a casino level of some kind? Like racing or fighting or just regular adventure game. There was a casino level.
A lot of them sure seem to.
Yeah.
We've got that very like silly Warner Brothers cartoon kind of music happening already in the score at the beginning of this.
Yep.
And one of the first things that's going to happen is you're going to hear a guard whistling the Merry Melodies tune.
Yep. And then Joker will whistle that a little bit later.
Yeah.
I mean, even the way it opens right now, like, it just feels like a sitcom. Like, I would watch the Villains of Arkham show.
What really cracks me up is Joker walks in here and he changes the channel. And it's not just Poison Ivy that's surprised and appalled that he changed it. Everyone in that room is like, hey, you changed the Platt show! How dare you! Like, you guys were watching that?
Well, I guess
really?
I'd rather watch that than Letterman, but I like Letterman, so I don't know what that says about the insane.
Okay. It didn't occur to me that was a late night talk show. I guess because stupid pet tricks.
Yep.
Oh, that's me. I didn't pick up on. I didn't put that together until just now.
They do the exact same thing in Superman when we get to Parasite.
Oh, really?
Yep.
There's a mention of stupid pet tricks there too.
Yep. And I think Parasite's actually the one sitting there watching Letterman.
Oh, that is Letterman. It actually is just straight up Letterman.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's funny. See, that kind of thing is weird to me with this show because of the whole kind of timeless feel and the black and white TV stuff. But
right.
It's okay because it's there for like 2 seconds and it's subtle.
Yeah. No, and it's fun. I mean, it's one of those things that a kid wouldn't necessarily pick up on, but like 10 years down the line, it's hysterical.
So you have this a lot in comic book things, and once again, it's hard to criticize anything in this episode because it's so cartoony.
Yeah.
But you have this a lot in comic book things where somebody has this big elaborate setup where they want someone to notice something so that they will go on some kind of epic tirade that person has somehow or rather knows their personality and psychology well enough to know for sure exactly what sort of master plan they're going to put together. And it always starts with, hopefully that person that I want to notice what I'm doing is watching the news.
They always flip it to the right channel at the exact right time.
Just when we're starting to see it. This guy's plan is absolutely absurd.
Yes. Yes. I don't know how he financed any of this.
Well, remember that that the whole point of it is actually that's not a problem because the whole point of it is that he's put too much money into this casino and he's going to go bankrupt.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Remember? And so it's not that he can't finance it, it's that he thinks he knows exactly what the Joker's going to do. It's ridiculous. Bruce Wayne, that is way too much of a Batman expression on your face to have on the news. Yeah, no comment. It's like, everyone, that's Batman. This guy's name is Mr. Kaiser. He's
hilarious on its own.
They could have named him Mr. Rye or Mr. Wheat, but they named him Mr. Kaiser.
I don't know if I'd want to stay in a Joker-themed hotel, though. Like, wouldn't it just be creepy to have him staring at you everywhere?
I can't believe people were applauding. You'd think everyone would immediately cry foul. Like, if this was the Twitter era, that would be trending as the most, uncouth thing ever, right?
Yeah,
like,
totally.
like that's in really bad taste, and there'd be a petition already.
Yeah, to shut it down and everything. There'd be riots every night.
Yeah, no, there's no people would be throwing stuff into the Joker's mouth.
It'd be hard not to. Look at how massive the smile was on that giant rotating head.
Yeah, it's almost asking you to. I like that we open this with the classic Joker's angry with something that happened on TV, so he's got to blow it up with something.
Yeah.
So he hits it with a plant. I also love that he throws a plant because he changed it from the Plant Show. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, Joker is really fun and reactionary throughout this whole episode. Like, he's just mad about everything.
Well, and that's the thing is that we've got the unpredictable, moody Joker where you can never even tell if he is feeling the way he's pretending to feel, but then that's all in an episode. Wait, is that guy's not the guy who turns out to be Lockup later, is it?
I don't think so.
It looks a lot like him.
Yeah.
Which is why I asked.
A little bit, yeah.
But anyway, so that is, but the problem is it's in an episode where this guy building this hotel, Steve, knows exactly how the Joker will react.
It's kind of bizarre that they do that. Like, the Joker is unpredictable except when it comes to this one guy who can seem to predict everything.
Yeah, I mean, granted, he ends up. I'm watching this whole episode going, this guy is an idiot for trying to scheme, and then at the end it turns out that he is kind of an idiot for trying, because once the Joker realizes what he's doing, obviously he's not gonna go for it, and he decides to not do what he was gonna do just because that guy thinks he's going to. But the scheme is so if you haven't seen this in a while, the scheme is, and they make this a big reveal later. It's a mystery as to why exactly he's gone with this Joker theme. And at the end, it turns out that he wants to. I love that he just has. That he's just tied all that together, and that they're multicolored because he's the Joker. But anyway, so he wants to get the Joker to blow up his. That guy's dressed up like Mario.
I didn't notice that.
He wants to get the Joker to blow up his hotel so that he can collect the insurance money. Like that's his whole plan. That's such a weird plan. Like.
There's got to be easier ways to accomplish that, right?
Right. There's got to be easier ways to do that.
Like, all you should really do is, like, advertise you've got something expensive. Someone in Gotham will come and wreck up your place, and you'll be fine.
Or find some way to stage it yourself.
Yeah, like, it's not that tricky.
I wouldn't think so either.
See, this is just a weird room. Like, I wouldn't want to stay there. I wouldn't even want to sleep in that.
With that giant Joker picture?
Over your head? Yeah, like, it's creepy.
So check it out, World's Greatest Detective. I'm positive that he wasn't originally planning on making a Joker hotel because, look, the wallpaper underneath this is different.
So I don't understand how he could be so broke that he has to retheme his casino, but he has enough money to retheme the entire thing. How does that work?
I guess he took out a massive loan, Steve.
But if you still have that ability, why would you retheme it at all?
And it's, well, I mean, I guess the idea is that he's gone broke, and he's got to try to recoup his money again. So, what would you do? Like, take out a loan and then hope that that the insurance money would be a lot more than what the loan was for and what you paid for in the first place with the other casino? Like,
it's still a really dumb plan. Like.
No, yeah. And again, how does he know for sure that the Joker's going to do what he's going to... Okay, so he opens this up and it says that Jack Napier is the Joker. Is that common knowledge already?
In this universe, it is.
Okay.
Because we've had that since... I know they did that in Mask of the Phantasm.
Right, but Batman puts two and two together in Mask of the Phantasm and is like, oh, I recognize that face. But why, with Batman picking up on that, would it just suddenly after that become common knowledge that the Joker and Jack Napier are the same person? Like, does he tell everyone? I mean, I could see him maybe doing that, but...
I guess when he's trying to explain the Phantasm to the police at the end of that movie, that awkward scene that we never see, he has to go through the evidence and Jack Napier just happens to come up.
I love how your evidence for that is a thing that doesn't happen. But it's the only thing that makes sense to me. Oh, okay, so we talked over this. One of the funniest things about this whole episode to me, Steve, is... Oh, by the way, I always love the trench coat, the black trench coat hat.
Oh, I know, it looks fantastic.
I get up for the Joker. So we've got girls walking around dressed up like Harley Quinn.
Yep.
And at the beginning of this, there is a question from the reporter that's like, don't you think this is kind of in poor taste? And he's like, well, the Joker is a image that goes back to antiquity, and I can't help it if my casino has a passing resemblance. You've got chicks dressed up like Harley Quinn. It's hilarious.
And I feel like that's actually something a businessman would say.
Passing resemblance.
Like, I feel like I would hear that on the news.
Yeah, absolutely. And then it would be, like, that doesn't sound, sadly, that doesn't sound as absurd as it ought to, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like that thinly veiled, and you're like...
Who's in the news lately? I feel like it's completely practical.
Yeah, where you've got these blatant, things going on that are, like again, in poor taste and are just awful. And you're like, nah, that wasn't on purpose.
I should point out, we really like this episode because it's hysterical, but Bruce Timm hates it.
Oh, really?
He hates it
what
so
does he
much
hate about
that
it?
the animation studio that made it, he never worked with again.
Weird. Does he just not like how they animated it?
I don't know. He just hates it. He thinks it's one of the worst episodes. And I don't know. Has he seen the one that comes afterwards?
And the one after that, even. I really like this scene with Bruce Wayne and the Joker.
Oh yeah, this is good. Bruce Wayne's kind of got like a James Bond thing going though.
Yeah,
which I enjoy.
No, that's fun.
There's a great line in Morrison's Batman, an earlier issue of that, where someone asks, "Are you James Bond?" and Bruce says, "James Bond wishes he was this cool."
See, I feel like there would be just as much of a chance that Joker would come in here and just try to take it over as his new hideout than blow it up.
Yeah, I mean, everything's all set for him.
Yeah. Well, and he's irritated with Bruce Wayne's reaction here of the decor. Like, he's so surprised Bruce says that, he drops his cards and he's like, "You don't like the decor?
Well,
how dare you call me gruesome?"
He's so generically insane that everything makes him mad, even if it's not consistent with what made him mad before. I
think it's kind of smart that we went with something as simple as blackjack, for a kid's show.
Yeah.
You know, where like you don't have to dumb it down for kids so they'll understand what you're looking at. But if it was poker, like especially certain kinds of poker, it would seem too complicated. But like, you know, blackjack really just is that simple.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a fun scene. Although it's weird that the Joker can just smash a poker chip with his fingers.
Yeah, it's like you're not super strong. I mean, I couldn't do that.
I can't do that either. Those things are dense. Joker Mobile is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, and this is so silly because two things. First of all, when it says original Joker Mobile, I guess it's not lying. Where did they get it? Because if that's not a car the Joker had before, how would he know it could even drive?
Yeah, and why have...
So I'm assuming... Yeah, so I'm assuming that that car is the Joker's actual original Joker Mobile. And that they got it from, maybe they bought it from a museum, I don't know. It's a cool design, though.
It's really cool. I want them to make a toy out of this, the same way they're doing with the 90s Batmobile, for that animated series line.
Yeah, and it should show up in a video game. We need more Batman driving games, because I like how he's on he's on the edge of a mermaid. Sorry, I was distracted by that. Steve, recently I was at a casino, not casino, of course. Recently I was at an arcade, not a casino, and there. I don't know if you know about this, Steve. There is a Batmobile driving game.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, that came out in 2013. And it was just after Dark Knight Rises, and it's got stuff from those movies going all the way back. And it's sort of like the Batmobile stuff in Arkham Knight, interestingly, where it's the missions are you drive after thugs from supervillains in cars and you shoot them.
That's cool.
And that's what it is. It's not a racing game. It's a shooting game, and it's a shooting while driving game. But there's a Batmobile select, and you can pick like the 60s car and the 89 car and the Batman and Robin car, and it's really cool. And you can pick the tumbler. And I played a level where the second stage, you drive the tumbler up into a big truck, and you come out in the Bat from Dark Knight Rises, and you fly in that and you shoot things. Yeah, it's awesome.
Oh, that's awesome! I need to play that. I
want that machine in my Batcave. It is cool.
I'm sure if someone's willing to sell it, I would buy that too. Like that sounds awesome.
I'm gonna look into it and see what it would cost to get one. It's really cool.
I mean, I've always wanted an arcade machine in my house in general. Like I would always love to have like regular arcade Kong or like pinball or something in the house.
I almost bought a Galaga machine at one point.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that kind of stuff. I really want the Joker Mobile in another DLC for Arkham Knight, but I doubt we will get that. Because that game's got its own version of the Joker Mobile and that hallucination.
Yeah, and it's cool.
It's really cool.
So I'm going to suggest this, Steve. This might have been a neat excuse to explain how the Joker has so much stuff with his likeness on it.
That's true. He just got it all from this guy.
Like, all you have to do is make this, I mean, obviously I'm saying this in hindsight, but make this your first Joker episode.
Yeah, I can see
that. And then have his hideout be this place, and then you can get away with having all these things that have the Joker's likeness on it. But, I mean, it's always fun to just wonder how in the world he manages that in the first place. And then,
where
of
does
course,
he get those wonderful toys? Even
in this episode, he's got a lot of stuff. Like here in a minute, we'll see grenades with smiley faces on them. He obviously didn't get those from Mr. Kaiser. Okay, I'm looking at Joker's face, and I'm seeing what Bruce Timm is talking about. If he's complaining mostly about animation, there's a lot of face scrunching up and stuff that doesn't look anything like this character.
And and he's also going cross-eyed every now and then. It's a little bit odd.
Yeah, but I'd also say that this episode can get away with that because it is so cartoony. So
I mean it's a Looney Tunes episode.
Yeah, and so it's kind of okay if the faces are a little bit more gelatinous and.
Well, I guess I have to ask, like, is Bruce Timm more upset about the animation or the script? Because the animation is fine for what the script is calling for.
I think so too, but he complains about things that I would never think to complain about because I don't do his job.
That's true. Yeah.
But like things stand out to him as being huge problems that I would never have even noticed. So
yeah, I mean, like he talks about sizes of explosions and stuff that he just doesn't care for, and that's not something I ever think about.
And the thing is, Bruce Timm seems to get hung up a lot more often about aesthetic stuff than he does story stuff.
That's true. Yeah, I guess it makes him better for animation supervising than for story.
Yeah. Because I love Bruce Timm, but I mean, not a lot. Some of the story stuff that I have questioned most in these shows has come from him.
That's true. I mean, he's done a lot of great stuff with this show, but at the same time, he's also done a lot of just weird, I want to animate it differently kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That was our entire review of the entire first volume of this show, is that it's just weird animation.
Yeah. Yep. Well, we wasted a lot of time when that was our only points.
I like the way the Joker's animated here, though. I think that looks kind of nice. He looks flat, but I think it's creepy.
I love how he has his own face on that gun.
How do you keep that tucked away, is my question.
Well, it's not as bad as having a super long gun in your pants, Steve.
That's true. I'm just enjoying Mark Hamill's performance, though. I feel like he's eating up the material.
Oh, yeah. It is a really classic kind of, Silver Age Joker story, really.
Yeah, it totally is a Silver Age Joker story. I'm surprised that this isn't based on anything, though, because it feels like it could have come from that era.
Yeah, I know, me too. I kind of expected we'd get into this and you'd start telling me what it was based on, and okay, that's really funny.
Yeah.
Batman's on his glider, and he goes past a building, and there's a guy that opens a curtain that's just like, hey, look, it's Batman!
See, stuff like that, you can't take this episode too seriously.
No, it's great. You almost want that to be one of those cameos from 60s Batman. You're like, hey, look, that's Jack LaLanne or something.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. I always loved Batman's glider in this show. I always thought it looked really cool.
I also like that the glider winds up in the giant Joker mouth, because as soon as you see that at the beginning, like something is going in that mouth.
Yeah.
There's no way around it. What should be more unnerving to anyone is that you go to that casino, and not only is there this giant head, but it's laughing at you in stereo. Like it never stops. Like that's really unnerving. Stop it. You'd think at the very least there'd be some music to accompany it.
Yeah, and it's not a consistent laughter. It's just really animatronic.
I like the design of this casino a lot. I think it's really cool that we find out that it was supposed to be called the Camelot, and then when you look at the design of the building, it's got a castle look.
Oh, yeah. And it still works because Joker's got the Jester thing going.
Yeah, so nobody would question it in the first place.
Yeah.
I mean, they'd question everything else about it. Like, why in the world you'd actually, do that, but this is a really elaborate scheme for what it is.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
it's kind of bizarre.
I was watching this with my wife yesterday, and she said, "I wish slot machines still did that."
Yeah.
Slot machines don't actually give you coins anymore.
Nope, you have to like go back and confirm you won, and then they give you money. It's not as fun anymore.
It's really cool that we bookended this with Looney Tunes, and it feels like a Looney Tunes cartoon.
It does. It's hysterical. I can't believe Paul Dini wrote it.
It's me too. It's kind of a cat mouse chase, but that also is very much in line with the way Paul Dini's always looked at Batman and the Joker, where like he can get really serious with it, and he can get into the psychology of it, but at the end of the day, it's the yin yang is kind of cartoon characters, like.
Yeah. I mean, that's something that they play with later, too, when they do that animated short with Batman and Catwoman just chasing each other. And it's completely silent for 5 minutes, and it's just that.
like when you when you look at Batman and the Joker and you look at the world revolving around them and how like unreal and almost like a kid's game that it sort of seems to people, like that's when when you start getting serious with it and you see the consequences that their game has to other people, that's when it gets really scary, right? Where it's like these two people are kind of just playing like kids in costumes while everybody else is in the middle of it and could get hurt and stuff. And so that episode is your traditional Batman and Joker playing on a grand stage without any consequences.
Yeah. I mean, you look at The Dark Knight, it's exactly the same thing, except on the exact opposite tonal spectrum.
Yeah, well, once you bring in any kind of realism into it, it's absolutely terrifying. And it's nice to see it without the realism sometimes and get that perspective and remember that, A, you can just have fun with it, and B, the more you enjoy those kinds of stories, the scarier the more realistic ones get.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it goes back to what you said when we opened this about regressing to 9 years old. It's Batman, a guy in a bat costume running around chasing a clown. And that's it. And the story. And it as you get older, you can put thought into it. But as of right now, it's just kind of fun.
Well, what's really funny is when you look at the way a 9-year-old would process that, little kids seem almost like they more realistic and have more perspective on it than we do now, Steve, because it's like yeah, it's just a couple of guys in costumes. It's not real. It's not something that seems like it would even really happen. It's just as fun. And then as we get older, we've got to put a lot of like thought and reason and thematic stuff. We got to make it a metaphor for something. We got to have this like two sides of a coin thing. We got to make it about the masks of tragedy and comedy and all that stuff. And some of that stuff is certainly inherently there, but like we start to really, I feel like we're overthinking it when you look at a 9-year-old watching a Batman cartoon.
Especially when it's made exclusively for the 9-year-old and you're just kind of there.
Yeah, exactly. So, if we had sat here and tried to like really, dissect that in a literary way, the joke would have been on us, sir.
I kind of want to go back and do that now.
Yeah, we should.
I kind of want to go back and play it entirely straight.
What do the slot machines represent, Steve?
The slot machines very obviously represent the type of greed that the casino owner has, but that same greed is something the Joker has because he's greedy about his own reputation and personality, and because Batman's in the casino, it's all about glory because Batman wants to catch the Joker, if for nothing else but to say he caught the Joker.
That's really good, Steve.
I have no idea if that meant anything, but yeah.
Yeah. All right. Real quick, do this one. Plants.
Plants. Well, plants are very natural, and they're part of the earth, and Batman and Joker's relationship is so natural and part of the earth that they're always going to continue and grow just like a plant.
But Joker doesn't like plants, and he throws plants.
Because he wants to resist the chain and thinks he can win at the end, even though he knows he never can.
This is fun. We should have done that whole commentary that way. Everybody, thanks always for watching. Sure hope you enjoyed it. Steve and I will be with you again next week for Steve's very favorite episode of this show.
Tiger.
Steve does not like that episode.
I don't. It's awful.
Well, I kind of agree. So join us for one of the worst episodes of Batman the Animated Series next week. And in the meantime, I am Captain Logan.
I'm Steve Baxi.
Thanks for watching.